Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League goes out not with a bang, not with an explosion, and certainly not with a party, but with a sad, pathetic whimper, the whimper it deserves. Hi everyone, my name is Jake Berry. Welcome to the StudioJake vidcast, where I talk about all things pop culture. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post new vidcast, and consider becoming a channel member. Alright, so Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was a colossal failure. Rocksteady and Warner Brothers, they had fired or allowed all the original writers of the Arkham games to quit, and as a result, this sequel, which is set in the Arkhamverse, which was created by Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City, and Batman Arkham Knight. I guess you could also include Batman Arkham Origins, although a different video game company developed that one. Anyway, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is supposed to take place after Arkham Knight, and it involves Brainiac invading the Earth and taking control of the Justice League. So Superman, Green Lantern, Flash, Batman, and Wonder Woman. Somehow she's the only one who didn't get infected, so Amanda Waller has to build a new Task Force X, which includes Harley Quinn, Deadshot, King Shark, and Captain Boomerang. This game was hit with immediate controversy because they race swapped Deadshot, who was in Arkham City and was a white dude, but they made him a black person in this game. And in the game itself, they sort of slap fans in the face by saying, oh, the one in Arkham City, he was a fake one. He was a variant from the multiverse. He's not the real one. Well, the game also included repetitive gameplay. It was just basically a shoot 'em up thing. It had this live service that was driving everyone nuts. What really got people angry, the game's trailer was released shortly after the tragic passing of Kevin Conroy, beloved voice actor of Batman. He had voiced Batman in Batman the Animated Series, Justice League Unlimited, a lot of other Batman and Justice League films, as well as the unrelated to Justice League Unlimited show, but Justice League Action. He is considered one of the greatest voice actors to ever portray both Bruce Wayne and Batman, and he voiced Batman in the Arkham series as well as Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. What ended up happening is Batman dies this most humiliating death where it's also implied that he murdered Robin at one point, but Harley Quinn then kills Batman by shooting him in the head even though he's still wearing his helmet, and delivers this speech where she like mocks him and makes fun of him and says it's our turn now, and then does the deed. And it was very humiliating and insulting. Now, I have no doubt maybe Kevin Conroy knew about the script and that's how it would end before he passed, whenever he was recording his lines. That's certainly possible. Doesn't matter. Rocksteady and Warner Brothers should have known that that was incredibly disrespectful of them to put in, and they could have just left Batman chained up or had him put in stasis. They could have easily had put in a cutscene that showed that, but instead, no, they continued on. At the end of the game, where you fight Superman, who could easily just take out all of these people with just one super speed thing. Oh, and by the way, Superman kills Wonder Woman. I guess that's a thing that happens in the game. So the game basically ends where they fight Brainiac, who is taking, I think, the Flash's powers, and you just repeat that Flash boss fight again. And then they go into the seasons. So the first season is they introduce Joker from another dimension, but is he the Joker that's at least similar to the Arkhamverse, or maybe another version like the Heath Ledger Joker or the one from the Batman, or any other one, maybe the Jack Nicholson one? No, they just get one that was based off the writer's therapy notes. And if you don't believe me, they actually did an extra where they interviewed the woman who was responsible for writing that season, and she basically admits, yeah, this is a Joker who's trying to find himself. Oh my gosh, he's just trying to find himself. Absolutely ridiculous. Joker doesn't need to find himself. He knows who he is, which is what makes him so dangerous, as he already knows he's the clown prince of crime. When they got the poor response from that, you would think that they would go, okay, let's maybe scale back. No, the Suicide Squad then goes into another dimension, which is Frozen, and they meet its Ma'am Freeze. It is a lesbian version of Mr. Freeze for some reason, who is a hulking kind of repulsive looking woman who is still in love with Nora. I don't know why they didn't just make it a man. If you're going to gender swap Mr. Freeze, why not gender swap Nora, make him Norman? That would have worked, but no, they didn't do that because this is a video game that has to promote identity politics and the woke agenda. We know this because Sweet Baby Inc. totally ruined this game. But anyway, that was also met with another pilfer, and then they discovered that the Flash is alive, I guess, at some point. So they find out. They find him, they find his signal, I guess, and they put him in stasis. What do you think? After the poor reception of the game itself, this new Joker, it's Man Freeze, what do you think they do? They quadruple down, right? So then they introduce Deadshot's daughter, who no one freaking cares about. She's not even a popular character in the game, but they bring her on board. And of course, she is this super genius who outdoes everyone, and she's smarter than everyone, and she's just the bestest ever. And then helps them find, I think, another Justice League member. And then also that season, they defeat another Brainiac, which does another repeat fight. So then they finally get to Deathstroke. Now, remember, Deathstroke wasn't supposed to be the last season. I think they said that they had 7 planned initially, but the game has done so poorly, it's cost Warner Brothers something like $200 million or something crazy like that. Now, my understanding is the Deathstroke season is actually pretty good, even though I kind of think Deathstroke is overrated. They kind of took a Teen Titans villain who then had his own solo comic and then exaggerated him because he got popular with Arkham Origins, but really he's not on the level of even Batman, even though there's a lot of people on Tumblr who would tell you otherwise. But anyway, he helps them defeat that variant Brainiac, who I think has a combination of Superman and Green Lantern's powers, which, how do these idiots even do that? This doesn't make logical sense. For all the people who have the really fun Superman versus Batman debate, and all the Superman fans are like, all Superman has to do is just go super fast and crash into him, and that would be it for Batman. Of course, completely disregarding that Batman could, figure that out, but whatever. I think they also discover that Green Lantern's alive. Well, then we get to the final battle with the final Brainiac, right? After you beat it, Tara Strong, who I don't know what they told her for this cutscene. I would show you the cutscene, but I'm going to just flash a couple of images on the screen so you can just see how terrible the stop motion comic looks. They didn't even bother to do a 3D ending, probably because they ran out of money, basically. And I guess they told Tara Strong, who voices Harley Quinn, and by the way, she's not a very good Harley Quinn anymore. She had a great start, but she has gotten worse and worse as the character over time. And they have her do the narration. Well, so then you find out, oh, Superman is actually alive. He crushes Brainiac's power core, which depowers him. And then Brainiac is like, I'm going to still defeat you. But Superman says, well, I have a little help from my friends. And Harley Quinn's like, hey, I thought he was talking about us. But then, oh, look, Batman's actually alive. And he punches Brainiac. And then it shows the Justice League going into all the dimensions to clean up after Brainiac. You see Flash and Green Lantern are still alive. Of course, Wonder Woman is still dead, and they have a statue for her now. And it kind of implies that the Suicide Squad escaped into some of these other dimensions so they can avoid being arrested. And then Amanda Waller, the Justice League allows her to take credit for defeating Brainiac and basically are blackmailing her to calm down. Disastrous ending. I don't know why they didn't just use an archive of Kevin Conroy so he can have a final line. Because even though they did manage to redeem Kevin Conroy's legacy in Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3, I've actually heard they've used archival audio for that scene. I'm okay with that because he needed to be redeemed. They should have done that here. They've got hours of him across several films, TV shows. Even if they didn't want him to do the whole narration, they could have at least maybe put him in saying, I am the Batman or something like that, but they didn't do that. The reason I gave that whole long spiel about the game is I just wanted you to understand this is why this game failed. They brought in a whole bunch of shiny new writers who are up and coming. They just graduated with a basket weaving degree, and so they think that they're creative, and they didn't understand what made the Arkham games great and just ruined it. They destroyed it. Warner Brothers deserved to lose money. Rocksteady deserved to go bankrupt over this. This was a sad, pathetic video game that destroyed the legacy of Kevin Conroy and the legacy of the Arkham games. I have a feeling people are just going to pretend that this game doesn't exist. And if Rocksteady was smart, they would do that. They would just pretend that this video game doesn't exist and make another Batman Arkham game. Instead, we got a woke agenda that elevates murderers to hero status just because the Justice League is more powerful than them. I think it is sad that this is how people are going to remember the Arkhamverse, but fortunately, this game was a colossal failure, and its pathetic cross of the finish line definitely highlights just how much the fans and just gamers in general rejected this video game, and I'm glad that it happened. If you like that video, be sure to give it a like, share it out to all your friends, leave me a comment, tell me what you think, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast, and consider becoming a channel member. If you would be so kind, head on over to my website, StudioJakeMedia.com. It is free and there are no ads. I publish an article daily, and it usually has to do with something with pop culture, anime, film, TV, books, all of the above. You're going to love it. You just have to sign up with your email address or through the WordPress app. And like I said, no ads, and it's totally free. If you do want to support the work that I do, head to my locals community. The link is in the description of the video. You can sign up for a monthly subscription, or you can send tips for the articles I post there, including some exclusive ones that are just for my locals community. So definitely head on over there, check it out, because I also post my short stories there. Speaking of stories, I've got 4 books out right now. I've got the supernatural thriller Cacophony, A Tale of Faith and Fear. Is about a group of demons that are trying to take over a small town in Texas, and the angels sent to stop them. If you're more into the sword and sorcery type of fiction, I've got the Seven Royals series. I've got book 1, All Good Things, and book 2, Breaking the Stars. They are the first 2 parts of a trilogy that I'm writing about a dark army that invades the land of your favorite fairy tale characters, and they have to come together to stop the Dark Army's leader, powerful dark mage. You can get book 1 and book 2. Book 3 is on its way, and I'll have an announcement about that very soon. Last but certainly not least, we have Blessed Child. It is a fantasy romance novella about an elf princess who discovers she is pregnant with a human child, sending her kingdom into turmoil. Her father, the king of the elves, hires a human knight to be her bodyguard, and they form an unlikely bond as they face all kinds of chaos. So head on over, get 1 or all 4 of them, and leave me a 5-star review. It really helps out small indie creators like myself. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.